Hello there folks, we've got Fufu today, rocking the Mega Armored Warboss once again, and that's what we're calling him. Calling him the Mega Armored Boss, I think that's pretty much what it is. Fridge Raider. He's a Warboss, that's what he is. He's going to be fighting Antair's Demon Hunter. His main, with his braids. Gotta love the braids. Dreadlocks, really, on this bad boy. It's a lot of wires. Seems quite inconvenient, really, doesn't it? I don't think I'd want that many wires connected to my head, being so visible. But anyway, especially in a war zone, you know? A little bit inconvenient. Inconvenient even at the gym, that, really. Never mind in a war zone. So we got a 1 IST, 1 Strike Squad build from Antair here. That's basically the meta now for Auto Malleus. IST, not great early on. Not great in general. Well, they're pretty good in Tier 2, actually. But typically, especially in this matchup against Orcs, you don't really want the IST because you're going to struggle fighting shooters with them. Now, it would be kind of nice to have IST to help focus fire the Warboss, who's actually a real pain. In fact, to be honest with you, I actually think Warboss is one of the hardest matchups in the game for Auto Malleus. Now, this being a relatively large map, Imperial Plaza, this helps because the Warboss can be kited. Oh, nice rift tear here. See the Demon Hunter down here activating that. But the Strike Squad aren't fleeing, they're just going to get a little bit of pew-pew into the Sluggers and maybe engage the Sluggers in melee. It's kind of risky when a Warboss is in front of them though, and can obviously use that Stomp to facilitate a lot of free damage coming in onto the Strike Squad. But now the Demon Hunter's entering the fight as well, now they can probably turn around and beat up these Sluggers. Not gonna. This is weird play. Yeah, just going to retreat, doesn't want to risk losing a model on his Strike Squad. I really think he probably could have took that fight and bled many Sluggers. But, I don't know, maybe it's not worth it. If he lost a Strike Squad, that would be horrendous for him. Lots of micro errors here for Antair. He's not dropping enough gens. He's going to be rushing... Oops. Initially, he was considering getting Operatives, but going to be rushing Purgation. However, he's floating a lot of Requisition. Should definitely be dropping a gen. Unless he decides that he wants 2 ISC actually to deal with the Warboss. Warboss going for some fast Angry Bits. I like Angry Bits in this matchup. Angry Bits spiky armor is kind of no-brainer, it feels like. There's just not a lot that can really deal with the Warboss. You just don't have a lot of range DPS available to you as the Auto Malleus. And of course, you've got Purgation, which is nice anti-melee, but not really against single entities. You know, heavy bolter Devastators would be a lot more convenient. So the Warboss uses his little charge there. Probably regrets that a little bit now that he sees the Purgation. Of course, Fufu didn't know that the Purgation were on the field. He's only just seen them now. And an energy burst there from the Strike Squad going to drain the energy on the Warboss, meaning he can't stomp. So he definitely needs to get out of there. But this is where the spiky armor's good as well. Fat increase to your max HP, a little bit of damage back to the Strike Squad when they're meleeing you, and just a lot of HP regen. He just becomes so unkillable. I mean, he can keep these Purgation tied up forever. And then you've got a Pain Boy who can do the same somewhat. I mean, obviously not as durable as a Warboss, but really, a Warboss with a default weapon, Pain Boy is about as scary as him thanks to his damage over time. And only being a single entity, as you can see here, he's pretty damn good actually at tanking the Purgation. Also, the Purgation, of course, do splash damage because they've got incinerators. Flamer weapons always do splash damage. So it means that they do good damage to these high model Slugger squads, but the damage is shared over the models. Therefore, if you've got a heal over time, like the Pain Boy heal, it's going to be quite effective. Now, I didn't actually realise this because I'm an absolute moron, but Fufu is going for double Sluggers here, not double shooters. So maybe it would have been an idea actually to get another IST squad. Antair probably does want more units. This is going to be a tricky engagement. Fufu actually channeling himself right through a choke point. Oh, this is beautiful. Purged by fire, snaring everything combined with the rift tear. But eventually, not a lot of firepower here. So the Pain Boy and the Warboss just charge on through. Strike Squad should probably be focusing the Slugger Boys. They're a lot less durable than the Warboss. And the Slugger Boys ultimately are outputting a lot more damage than the Warboss as well. Purged by Fire has already been used on the Purgation, so now you can see they just get tied up in melee by the Pain Boy. And this is not really a very good situation for the Ordo Malleus. Now, they are getting out with, okay, 1 Strike Squad model loss, 1 Purgation model, and 1 IST. Not really a big deal. We do see, oh, I might lose the Demon Hunter here. Why has he kept the Demon Hunter in so long? Get out! Scary because of the damage over time from the Pain Boy. Yep, and he loses them. Oh well. Kinda sad actually, because he literally just got that upgrade there on his Demon Hunter. So that Wog is, you know, redundant right now. And Sluggers get just pushed forward with their burners, gonna take out the node. We got triple gens up for the Orcs. Probably not gonna get anything else in tier 1, the Orcs here. Ooh, that could be a nasty grenade. Wow, it didn't kill anyone. A lot of models in this Slugger squad, considering their HP. Drop 1 more and retreat there. Fair enough. Down here we got Sluggers moving around. And a little decap there from the War Boss. No spiky armor on the War Boss, so his regens are not very good. Now you do get improved regen when you charge. You see here he gets 7.5 HP regen. I'm not sure how long that lasts for, to be honest, but it lasts for a little bit. Gets that damage boost as well, but not enough HP on him right now. Probably wants to get out. He's really fishing for a model kill here on this dude. Kind of shocked the Purgation didn't turn around and attack the War Boss though. Oh, now it was a bit of a delayed reaction there with the War Boss. As soon as he killed the model, he should have retreated. But another Strike Squad model goes down. Purgation forced off here. Antair did get a second Purgation squad and he's going to send it down to bash here, but unfortunately for him, the gens are over this side, and now there's nothing to prevent the Sluggers moving through and getting the bash on this farm of Antair. Antair probably wants to drop some gens down bot, or he's going to seriously end up with a lack of power right now. I mean, his economy's looking relatively balanced, but it's not going to be for long, is it? If he loses these gens. So the Demon Hunter's going to run over. He has been revived now. He's pretty tanky actually with the Armour of Fortitude. You can see here, HP regen increase and a max HP increase. This is essentially a tanky melee hero armour. But Ard Boys and Use Your Choppers both being activated right now onto these Slugger Boys. They're going to try and stand and take the fight. Okay, there comes the heal from the Pain Boy. That's going to be helpful. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Looks like it is actually. Winning. Nope. They've got to get out. The problem basically is that the supporting firepower from the Shooter Boys doesn't really do anything. Even with their big shooter upgrade, relying on piercing against the heavy infantry of these Grey Knights, it's negligible. Whereas the AoE damage coming out of the Purgation here at close range, because remember, these guys do more damage the closer the range. That damage coming out of the Purgation is actually quite a lot. Now the War Boss goes down here and intercepts the Purgation. They got the bash here on the power node, but of course they were rotating over to go for the real farm, but the War Boss stopped them. And Antair manages to save one of his generators, and is now heading to tier 2. Now Fufu's already in tier 2, and now that he's tier 2, he can get an upgrade for his Pain Boy to have even more heals, stronger heals, and better energy economy. He can also blow up one of the Sluggers and knock over the enemy when he does it, which is very nice in melee fights. And of course, in general, just the Sluggers are going to be way stronger now that they've got their Slugger knobs. So we'll see how this fares. So far there's no tier 2 purchases for Fufu. I was just about to say we'll likely see a Weird Boy. The Weird Boy just has so much great utility. Ooh, that is a bad retreat path here from the Purgation. Oh, they're dead. They're so dead. Oh my god. Cleaved apart by that Slugger knob. Yikes, that was a lot of big orcs in their retreat path. Well, this is looking kind of rough for Antair. They definitely retreated, but they retreated through melee, which is not really very helpful. So you see the little combo there, the Purge by Fire plus the Rift Tear, more or less immobilizing this Slugger Boy squad, but an Ard Boy's dropped on them, giving them more damage resistance, and now this is not a fight that these Strike Squad won. Strike Squad does have their Justicar, so they're a pretty good squad themselves, but yeah, look, double Sluggers here. I'm not sure if they've got War buffs, looks like they might do. And then Pain Boy support too. This is brutal. This is such a hard matchup for OM. Now there's a freaking Weird Boy. You just get Warpath on this guy. Now you're giving damage resistance to the nearby Sluggers and more speed to kill everything in retreat and close the distance. And here we go, we're getting Warpath. And then you can just get a truck. If the enemy tries to counter it with a conversion beamer, this guy has very long range attacks that do knockback to knock over the beamer. Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare. Big map like this as well, transports would be very good. Now from Antair's perspective, I definitely want a heavy bolter rhino. You know, bleed all these relatively squishy orcs. The weird boy kind of does damage to that as well, but only if you stay stationary. And you obviously want to be whizzing that rhino all around the map, attacking from different angles, just trying to keep the orc on his toes, preventing him from blobbing around the weird boy. See, he's got to be so careful with his retreat paths. Now he's retreating again through double slugger boys. Not activating warpath here. A bit of a micro error there from Fufu. Only attacked with one of the sluggers. Honestly, if he was in the correct position there, activated warpath and had both of them attack, force melee with your weird boy, he might just wipe that squad. Antair needs to be super careful about how he positions himself on this map. It's risky when you're in this area here. You're going to retreat through this way, and that's very likely where your enemy could be. Psychic Fortress on the Demon Hunter, a fully upgraded Demon Hunter now. He's gone for his melee build. He's got the Force Glaive, which is a pretty decent melee weapon, 71 DPS power melee. So you see this Psychic Fortress right now, it's snaring everything around him, and it's also draining the energy, which is really nice. You see here, Warboss has no energy. Psyker, whoa, that's not a Psyker, that's a Pain Boy. He's got no energy. Not very effective against the Weird Boy because his energy pool is so high, but pretty nice. And then he's got the Tome of Tranquility as well, which is just basically improving his energy economy and reducing his cooldowns so that he can use the Inferno ability in his Force Glaive more often, which is basically a damage spike around him and guaranteed knockback. Good against enemy melee. So this Demon Hunter probably will be quite a nice tool. That was actually good play by Antair. Stayed in combat a long time with that Demon Hunter, and then just as he was about to die, activated his Indomitable, putting himself in stasis, and then walked out. Really baited Fufu into committing quite hard to that, and that's why this squad ended up having to retreat as it walked into the base turrets. But another option for Antair, we're dealing with all the melee, would be the Terminator, Librarian of the Order Malleus. Definitely a decent option. You've got your Sanctuary Bubble Shield, which will do knockback to literally anything, even Terminators. So you put your Purgation in that, you put your Strike Squad in range stance, and you just shoot the shit out of the orcs. And then obviously you stand in the Sanctuary, they can't melee you for a bit, you can soften them up. I guess that's not super useful, since honestly the range DPS coming out of Antair's comp right now, not very high. You know, we're not talking, no Silencer Purgation. Of course he could get them, but yeah, without the Order Malleus Librarian, you wouldn't want the Silencers. And all these single entities running around is negating the Purgation quite a bit. Of course he should have had two, but he lost one. And Fufu's just going to go tier 3. Damn. I mean, this is looking really rough for Antair. He does have the VP lead, that's something, I guess. And no Power Claw on the Warboss. So, kind of a tough fight against the Demon Hunter here with his upgrade and his tanky melee armor. You see, obviously, Inferno there yeeted the Warboss. Now Painboy needs to be quite careful. I'm draining his energy with a Psychic Fortress in general. Oh, chain knockbacks there from the Strike Squad. Antair messed up his micro, man. Friggin' walked the Strike Squad away to attack the Sluggers. Might have actually got the kill on the Painboy, I'm not sure though. Use your choppers on the Sluggers too, that is rough. That's a lot of damage coming out of that squad. Oh my god, are they gonna kill the Strike Squad? Maybe saved here by the damage resistance that they're getting from the inspiration on the Dreadnought. Somehow getting out with 3 models there, which is kind of incredible. Crazy. And Antair's using to build a little bit of a generator down here, triple gens up top. I guess he was floating a lot of requisition, opting for Acolyte Leader and a Plasma Gun on his Stormtroopers. So they're now fully upgraded once they get the Plasma Gun. I'm just running around with an Inferno Cannon right now on his Dreadnought, which is fine, I guess. But there is a looted tank, which is... yeah. That's the problem. An Inferno Cannon isn't going to do anything to that. You know, you've got your option of the multi-melter, but short range doesn't really counter a tank unless you have a snare. He could get a snare. He's got the anti-armor, armor, technically, on the Demon Hunter. The anti-vehicle armor on the Demon Hunter, but unfortunately the Demon Hunter gets caught there by the Warboss, who now has a Power Claw, so that's not really ideal. Now we do see a Conversion Beamer Purgation Squad, who's getting a nice little rear armor hit here. Ooh, Psychic Assailment from the Demon Hunter is going to buff their damage and their range, and that kills the looted tank! Damn! Big micro error there from Fufu. Showed the rear armor of it. Obviously didn't intend to do that. Not ideal. And here comes the Multi-Melter Dreadnought now. Clearly equipped to try and deal with that looted tank, but it's not very ideal. It doesn't do a tremendous amount of damage in melee, and unlike the Inferno Cannon, it doesn't have the 20% melee resist. It's got none. So you can see here the Warboss with his heavy melee is really proving quite problematic, ripping this poor Dreadnought to pieces. So that's unfortunate. It turned out he didn't even need the multi-melter, but instead he ended up purchasing it to try and kill that looted tank. I guess it would deter a future looted tank to an extent, but it might even go down here, the Dreadnought. I wonder if there's a charge on the Warboss. Rift Tear coming in to try and save it. I guess that's working. The Warboss is backing off. Maybe he doesn't have a charge. Or maybe just Fufu doesn't want to risk it. I'm not sure how much value is going to come out of this Dreadnought right now with the multi-melter. It doesn't seem like it would be that useful. It's also going to be repairing for a very long time with only one squad of Stormtroopers to repair it. I guess in a big fight, the multi-melter can pop enemy infantry models quite easily. You know, you'll pop Slugger Boys, and then that can proc the inspiration. Or is it only melee kills that give the inspiration? I think it's probably only melee kills, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think it's going to do that much, to be honest. Much like the Strike Squad right here, which are going to struggle to do a lot when the Weird Boy can just keep them chain knocked back if they attempt to cap the point. And now we've got Flash Gits, which are going to be grabbing some blasters. Blasters! Blasters for the Gits! I don't know what that was. That's terrible. But yeah, AoE psychic damage, which has a little bonus against the heavy infantry of the Grey Knights. So that could be pretty scary against basically everything that Antair has right now, except from his Demon Hunter. But Antair is going tier 3 as well. Let's see how this engagement goes. So the Blasters are opening fire on the Strike Squad. They're getting absolutely wrecked, man. Blasters plus the Weird Boy there. Crazy damage. The Warboss Ad Boys on him. Just goes straight after that Dreadnought. Oh, holy shit. The Weird Boy just killed 3 Strike Squad models. The Psychic Fortress activated again, and the Demon Hunter trying to cause a bit of havoc in the middle. What's he chopping up? He's going to be going for the Pain Boy, but he's getting controlled by the Weird Boy. Man, this Weird Boy's been amazing. I've not even really seen any Warpath be used, but nonetheless, it's done great. Slugger Boy's just staying away from the Demon Hunter, probably waiting for him to finish his Inferno ability, which of course he had then. So then they just gangbang him. He's going to activate his Indomitable and walk away. So, shooters have just been running around on one model here. I wonder if that's intentional. I'm assuming it is. Which is actually a really nice play there from Fufu, because the shooters aren't doing anything in this entire match. They're just redundant. You know, he's got the Flash Gits for some serious long-range firepower. You see the damage there that they're able to output. Not even the Warboss, though, is kind of scary against all these... Well, against this Dreadnought, to be honest. Strike Squad should really just be going into melee right now. These sluggers are super-duper weak right now. And no real AV, just the Weird Boy, so all you do is you force melee on the Weird Boy and you're good. Multi-Melter will actually be pretty good against the Flash Gits. If you can get some of these models, that would be nice. Might kill another model on retreat, you know, with the multi-melter, we'll see. The whole time, Purgation just capping over here. Okay. Actually, you know what? Not looking that bad for Antair right now, somehow. I honestly don't know how he managed to defend his power farm. Obviously, Fufu throwing his looted tank was, well, that was very influential in this game going as badly as it is now for Fufu. I mean, I wouldn't say he's behind or anything, but he just has such a big advantage. He does actually have knobs out now. But you can take them on if you get some Grey Knight Terminators, that's for sure. Anti also has the option of Crusaders, which are very strong in tier 3, but without a Rhino to support them, probably not a good idea. Thing is, there isn't any proper AV other than the Warboss or the Power Claw. Now that's great against a Walker, because Walkers are relatively slow, but against a Rhino, or certainly a Voss from a Razorback, the Warboss will never catch them, if you can micro it. So that might be another option. You've already got your Beamer to counter a tank, so I'm kind of struggling to see... This is actually brilliant, I love this. The lone shooter hiding in the corner, just going to come down and decap these things whenever he gets a chance. Though, actually, the Strike Squad here has took this VP and the shooter isn't moving down to cap it, which I find a bit weird. I guess maybe he wants to make sure he forces off the Strike Squad first. We'll see. So he's getting kind of close, as Antair, to getting the money for the Grey Knight Terminators. You know, actually, another option that he has right now, totally seriously, is a Land Raider Crusader. Because if you look at the composition of Fufu, it's all infantry. And there's no AV on the field. Ooh, knobs there in tandem with the blasters, annihilating that Purgation squad. So now there's no Beamer. So looted tank is looking a bit better for Fufu. Fufu might just save up for a battle wagon. He could do. He probably should. I mean, they're so much better than a looted tank, it's unbelievable. Bit of a micro error here though. I don't know what's going on with the flash hits and the Weird Boy charging in. Nice Inferno though. Yeets both the Warboss and the Knobs away, so the Strike Squad have more time to chase down these flash gits. And they killed 2 of them. I'm really not sure the flash gits have paid for themselves. I mean, maybe they would have had they been used a little bit better in terms of micro, but as it stands right now, I'm not really too sure. A little bit of a Rift Tear and some Stormbolter shots going into the Knobs. I mean, it's not really going to be enough, is it? I mean, the Dreadnought's so screwed. What is he doing? He needs to get out of there. Yeah, run. Dreadnought with no melee resist and its speed. Not great. I mean, nice stalling here. Getting some nice lucky specials on the Strike Squad, controlling the Knobs, hitting them with Inferno, doing that knockback, and then stasis in the Strike Squad. Looks like the Demon Hunter's going to get slain though by the Knobs. Yeah. Now the Knobs have got Frenzy, but they're actually very low on HP and Terminators have just warped in. Fufu? Fufu is watching the Warboss chase the Dreadnought. Oh dear. He does get it. He gets the Dreadnought. But wow, very aggressive teleport here from the Terminators, attempting to wipe the Pain Boy. They're not going to be able to get it. They're really going to go into base here? Surely not. No, they're backing off. Some sneaky sluggers over here. Shooters are over there. They probably were the reason why this is now turned blue. Going to go for a second Flash Git squad. Oh, now the Crusaders are coming for Antair. I bet Antair's going to win this now. These guys are so good in tier 3 with their priest leader. It's called an Acolyte, but it's meant to be a priest. And hopefully one day there will be a model for it. And Fufu is messing up seriously. He didn't notice that his sluggers are getting taken out there. Terrible. Unless he won't pop. No, he doesn't want pop. He's only got 53 pop. Oh no. This is problematic. So, second blaster, presumably. Blaster's been psychic PvP, will actually do okay damage against the Terminators. I mean, you can see, okay. But you got to consider, obviously, the Terminators can't retreat. You know, I've never seen the Weird Boy using Warpath, which is not good. And Saz guns basically won't do anything to the Terminators because they're just like super shooters. So they're only piercing damage. They'll rip to pieces any light infantry. But yeah, against super heavy infantry, not going to do much. But then the blasters are not going to be that great against the Crusaders because Crusaders are light infantry. and they're quite fast as well. So the tandem, basically these two in combination, are going to be very difficult for this composition to fight. Fufu's going to be replacing the knobs. Losing the knobs was huge, because one of the most powerful things about knobs is the fact that they can level up and Terminators can't. So level 1 knobs are going to get their ass kicked by these Terminators, but level 4 knobs actually will do pretty damn well. I don't know if they beat them or not. Probably do. It's probably close. Certainly then you've got use your choppers, but the other thing is obviously knobs retreat and the Terminators don't. So, you know, you can stun the Terminators with your Weird Boy. They can't even retreat. Very easy to set up wipes in instances like that. Now we do have the heavy armor on the war boss, making him really, really tanky. 900 max HP increase. I don't really know why the Terminators are retreating away for this long from just a war boss. They should have just turned around. These guys can take him on for sure. It's not like you can even knock over the Terminators with your stomp. So that whole play is very weird. I think Ante certainly should have gone into the base and healed his Terminators, since he decided to soft kite them, you know, soft retreat all the way over this way. He's got the VPs too. Ante's ahead in the VPs. So this is all just very questionable. No requisition for Ante. Which is a shame, because he really needs his Demon Hunter right now with that Inferno. That extra knockback in melee would be very, very appreciated. You see, he's just putting the Terminators in range stance. I mean, you know, they're okay in ranged, certainly with their sight cannon, but I don't know, they're not that good. Nice bit of friendly fire there from the Weird Boy. Plasma Guns of the ISC here actually doing some decent damage against the knobs. We've got the Frenzy ability coming in from the Crusaders. What is that called? Battle Frenzy, yeah. And then we've got the Real Frenzy coming in for the knobs, giving them 75% damage resistance, but it looks like the Warboss is going to be slain. Did we have a Vomit? I don't know if we've had a Warp Vomit yet. What's this? Calder Boys. Oh, beautiful Calder Boys. Going to reinforce all the knobs there. Of course, the knob squad knob leader doesn't come back, but with double blasted gates in the back, even without a Vomit, that is going to be a one engagement there for Fufu. Very nice Calder Boys at the end there to secure the fight, even with the Warboss going down. It's definitely one of the things you can do with Calder Boys. You can bait the enemy into a fight where they think they're going to win, so they commit such that if you activate Calder Boys, you can wipe their squads, because they committed so much. And they would never make that mistake otherwise. You know, normally they wouldn't commit so much that you could wipe them. It only works because you have that Calder Boys instant reinforce on nearly instant. Technically did get a nerf recently, because when it was literally like that, it's very easy to wipe squads. It's why Touch of Nurgle, by the way, is really good. People always think, well, it doesn't do that much damage, does it? You can just CC the heretics and then it doesn't do anything. Yeah, well, the way you're meant to use it is you bait the enemy into a fight that they think they're going to win. Then you activate Touch of Nurgle and you press Q to Doomblast your heretics. That activating Touch of Nurgle and pressing Q on your heretic takes, what, 0.2 of a second? Bang! Massive spike of damage onto the enemy and huge knockback. And obviously when a unit is knocked over in melee, they then can be meleeed a lot more. Or shot at. Either way, retreating is not going to help you. If you don't retreat straight away, you can take a lot of damage while you're on your ass getting shot. If you do retreat straight away, you negate the range damage, but then you can take more damage from the melee heretics. It's a cool combo, and he basically did that shit with the Calder Boys. So nice play there to end the game. Cool to see some Orcs versus Ordo Malleus. I really feel like there's a bit of a lack of Orcs at the moment, but there you have it. And actually, cool to see tier 3 units. Hope you enjoyed that one, folks. That's going to be all from your boy Torpid this time. I am signing out.